What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and today we are looking at the aftermath of DSP and Josh Moon interview, DERICH finally getting banned, Doody versus Keem, and much more. So this day started off with Doody doing a pre-stream, and he was talking about Phil, and Keemstar wanted to call in. Now I'll say this, if I'm going to report on stuff, I have to be fair, and I have to call stuff out, even if it's a fellow detractor. So I'm sure this is to promote his upcoming interview with DSP and get more attention on it. So Keem called in and had an issue with Doody clipping Phil, saying that he took clips that were too long, and Doody getting angry, talking in circles, and spouting out about different stuff. It was a shit show on both sides. They were both acting like children. And then Keem threatened to get Doody streams demonetized because he believed Doody was breaking TOS because he was using clips longer than 5 minutes. Which, by the way, there is no limit on clips. It's all about context and how much of the original content you actually take and transform it. Because to me, it's more of a percent of the original content than a length of the original content. So we have this from Saturated Content. Doody vs Keem has been cringe. Mods banning everyone in chat. Keem threatened to use his influence to remove Doody's monetization. Just an absolute shit show from all sides. Then, as Mr. Memento points out, look at all those wrenches. And this is something I don't agree with Doody on, is he makes everyone a mod in his chat. And it just takes one person to ruin that. For an example, during this whole Keem vs Doody segment, DSP was actually in chat. Yes, the real DSP, he even said it afterwards, it was him. DSP said himself he was actually going to go on Doody's streams to confront him. But as soon as he typed in the chat, one of his mods timed him out permanently. Now that would have been quite a show to see DSP on detractor content. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of what went down when Keem and Doody faced off.
Flag you, something like that, right?
No, he said specifically outright we can use his content. He doesn't care. Here it is, right? I'll play it.
Outright saying it's not them. So
Okay, well now that he does care, are you still doing it?
He still hasn't restricted that. Actually, yesterday on his podcast, he even said he didn't care. Now, if he's going to put a statement out there and said he doesn't want me clipping his content in long segments without commentary, he can say that, and then I will make the appropriate changes, which is fine.
Do you understand that you're like in have you read the YouTube partnership agreement?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you understand that you have to have original content. You clipping 30 minutes of DSP's podcast, putting it up, and then putting your little overlay around is a clear violation of the YouTube partnership program.
That one from had my commentary. I put in commentations in the beginning, at the end, and at the beginning. I can pull it up.
In the beginning and the end, you talked for like 2 seconds, and that was 35 minutes uninterrupted.
All right, so how do I share with you? Do I just, I'm not a Discord person. We do share, right?
What are we sharing? I just listened to it.
Oh, you did? Because you said you couldn't hear it.
I just listened to it. I just listened to it while I was doing yard work.
Okay.
I had it playing on my headset.
Okay.
And I hear you go, hey guys, DSP's really mad at me. Bam. And then it's 30 minutes of DSP uninterrupted. And then, so at the very end, so that was DSP. That's not a commentary.
Yes, that was one video. I'd like to show you other videos where I have commentary. I posted 2 videos today that had nothing but commentary.
Okay, but you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying.
No. Let me explain. Because this is what you do. I call out clear violations of copyright. I call it clear violations of the YouTube partnership program, of TOS, of all this stuff that you're doing, right? Yes. And then you say, well, I have videos with commentary. The videos with commentary are not in question. They're not in question. Why are you saying that? I'm talking about the theft that wouldn't qualify for YouTube partnership. That is literally DSP's copyright. That's his material. Just like LOLCOW Live. Like if I go and strike that, or I claim the money that you make from that,
which is
I
fine.
have full legal right.
Yeah,
which is full legal right to do
which
it. It's
is
my
perfectly
copyright that you have stolen.
Which is
Why
perfectly
won't you-
fine. But the issue, no, hold on.
I don't understand when we talk about this that you say, but I have other videos with commentary. I'm not talking about those.
Well, you try to say that all I do is steal content.
Yes,
those are your very
for the
words.
most part. Most
half
of the
and
content you put up. Most of the content you put up are very, very long clips of uninterrupted content from other creators.
Am I stealing this stream? Am I providing commentary? Do I have an overlay?
You're doing it again. This is more cope. You're now talking about a stream. I'm not talking about a stream.
Okay, well,
I'm not talking about what you actually doing commentary. I'm not talking about you actually doing content creation.
We've established that I do create content, that I do create my own content, and that I'm a content creator. So I'm glad we can establish that situation. Now let's talk about the clipping stuff. If Phil has an issue with me clipping his content, right? And he wants to revoke what he stated, that people can use his content, then he can go ahead and say that. And then what I will do is anything I publish with DSP will have commentary. The same conversation me and you had, Keem, remember that conversation? Which I implemented, I'm more than happy to do with Dark Side Phil, okay? Now, I understand that you're supposed to have this little interview with Phil, and you want to drudge up drama and content for your side. That's perfectly fine. I understand the game. It's all cool. It's all great. You can go ahead and chat with DSP.
Again?
I'm not coping.
About me going on DSP this
why
week?
Why would you be on my stream, Keem? Why would you be on my stream?
I'm on this stream because 1, I have a history with you stealing my content. 2, I want to educate
6 months
myself
ago?
on the Kino Casino, DSP, excuse me, I'm talking, the DSP and Doody drama. I watched it, and I watched it from your channel, and I watched literally 30 minutes uninterrupted of DSP's podcast being uploaded to your channel, where you only said a few words before and only a few words later. And furthermore, I don't think we should debate this anymore because you don't understand what I'm saying and you disagree with me.
I understand what you're saying.
I think we should get YouTube involved to do a full review of your channel and find out who's right and who's wrong. Do you accept?
If you want to do that, knock yourself out, Keem.
So you accept it's okay. You're not going to call me snitch star.
No,
and say,
you
that
would be a snitch.
Victim.
No, you would be a snitch. I won't bitch about it, but you will be a snitch.
Well, you just gave me your blessing, though.
No one gave you a blessing. If that's something you want to go ahead and do because you want to make,
hold on.
No.
Gave you his blessing,
if you want, if you want to make, if you want to make me your little pet project, go ahead, Keem. That's perfectly fine.
You're a little hypocritical.
I'm not getting hypocritical.
No, I think we should do this.
You want to get on my channel. You want to get on my channel.
YouTube fully review your channel and see if you qualify for YouTube partnership.
Okay, now have your fun there, Keem, because you decided you want to come on a 19K. No one's giving you a blessing. No. Don't play this Review Tech USA bullshit about your Patreon or whatever. No, I don't. I do not give you permission. How's that, Keem?
You did give me permission.
No,
I'm sorry.
I revoked that permission. Okay, Keem.
Oh, so you revoked that permission.
I've revoked that permission, Keem.
Okay,
we're good.
All right.
Are we good?
Then
are we good?
We could be good if you can acknowledge what you're doing is wrong. Because in this situation, let's bring down the temperature a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
In this situation, you're actually wrong.
Okay.
You're actually, this is my whole life. I've been doing this for 15 years. What you're doing is wrong on so many levels.
Okay.
And for you to argue and fight with everyone, it's so easy, Doody. Just take my advice. Make commentary.
Okay.
Don't put fucking 30 minutes of uninterrupted clips because I swear to God,
I'm happy to do that, Keem.
If YouTube were to look at your channel, you just get demonetized.
Okay.
Because it's not original content.
And that's fine. And that doesn't change the fact that I won't continue doing what I'm doing. I'll continue doing what I'm doing. That doesn't change what I do, my content, what I do. Now, hold on. Sorry. So Keem, if Phil no longer wants me to clip his channel,
faked cancer, but now he's acting all high and mighty like he's a better person. Never forget he's a LOLCOW.
If Phil doesn't want me to use his content at all, he needs to publicly say that. If he publicly says that without commentary or transformative, If he says that, fine. I will go ahead and no longer clip his stuff without commentary. I'm more than happy to do that. But again, Keem, I don't like the way you try to pigeonhole me because of our history.
Well, it works, right?
Well, what works,
right?
No, it doesn't work because you
instead of coping, instead of making up shit,
one's
you've
coping,
acknowledged that
dude.
you're in the wrong.
No, I haven't acknowledged anything. What I'm telling you is that hold on.
Let's do the YouTube review.
If Phil wants me to stop,
do I have your permission to have YouTube review your channel?
Listen to me, Keem. If Phil wants me to stop,
you gotta pick one.
It's
either YouTube.
This is what I'm picking.
Or admit you're wrong.
Keemstar, this is what I'm picking. What I'm picking here is if DSP wants me to stop using his content the way I'm currently using it with clips, he needs to say that. If he says that, I will modify how I produce my content. So I'm telling you that right now. The same way. Wait, Keem, hold on. The same way.
Okay.
Dude, I'm sorry, man.
You're
okay, then go ahead and acknowledge
yet?
it. Go ahead and acknowledge it. You haven't acknowledged it yet.
Let me give you some advice.
Go ahead.
All right. This is the correct way to do things.
Okay.
All right. You will admit that I know more about this YouTube entertainment world and all the policies and everything than you, right? You do admit that, right?
You do. Yes, you do, Keem.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So this is best practices moving forward, Doody, right? What you should do is you should keep uninterrupted clips 5 minutes or less. All right.
Okay.
So let's say DSP is making a point, right? You got to stop that clip and then you got to come on with your commentary and react to it. Give a rebuttal, whatever. Then another 5 minutes. All right. What you're doing, I'm telling you right now, would get your channel demonetized if YouTube did a review. It would just get demonetized.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you are in the wrong here.
Keem the snitch.
Okay, Keem, I
How
get you.
easy is that though? That's an easy fix.
And all I'm asking for, and the Kino guys are actually in my chat here, and they talk to Phil. All I'm saying is that if DSP wants me to stop clipping his channel the way I currently do it, right? He needs to acknowledge that and say that. He needs to say, Doody, please stop clipping my content without commentary. If he does that, I will stop doing that. I will stop doing that.
Where does it say in the fucking YouTube terms of service that DSP has to tell another channel to stop clipping him?
He gave me permission. He gave me permission. I just played you a video of him giving anyone permission to do. Hold on. I'll send you that clip. I'm more than happy to send you that.
I want to. Yeah, can you link me the clip so I can hear it myself, and then I'll go from there.
And they kept fighting over and over exactly like that. Then Keem left. And this is how Doody ended his stream.
Talking about Doody's making transparent content. You know Keemstar has connections with YouTube. All he's doing is trying to fucking scare you, bro. Fuck that shit. He's a snitch. He's a fucking retard. All right. All he gives a fuck is about his money, nigga. He don't give a fuck about wings. He doesn't give a fuck about Boogie. He don't give a fuck about DSP. As long as he's making bank, that's all that matters to Keemstar since day one. He's fake. He's always been fake. He's a fake ass fucking YouTuber. He's a fake ass content creator. All he does is stir drama to make money for himself, bro.
Then we get to the level 1 pre-stream, where DSP waited until Doody's stream was done to start his own. And the very first thing he does is he calls for a wellness check on Doody. And we have David Davidson here. Phil is calling for a welfare check on Doody. Really? Are we really gonna ask people to call the authorities on Doody for being mean on the internet? You know there's a term for this, and it's also illegal. And DSP spent 90% of his pre-stream talking about Doody, saying after this, he doesn't want anything to do with Doody, he's gonna flush the Doody. And he had this message for Doody streams.
Dude, what you're doing is illegal. You have to stop right fucking now. Because I'm done with you, but it sure sounds like other people are lining up to fuck with you now. So if you know what's best for yourself, stop breaking the law. That's number 1. Number 2, I strongly recommend you do seek some kind of professional help, because no one behaves the way you do unless something's unhinged in there. I don't know what it possibly could be. I don't have evidence of anything, but you need help.
Then we have this from Poem Josh. DSP, what Doody is doing is illegal. Chat member, I'll fund the cost to sue Doody. DSP, that's not what this is about. Flip flop, flip flop. Then DSP went on to say that Doody was autistic and claimed autistic people are unhinged and need medical attention. Then we have Broside Phil. Apparently, according to DSP, medical authorities should get involved. Oh, and Mr. DSP says autistic people hyperfixate, and that Doody is dangerous because of this. Then Doody himself puts this out. Is Phil on crack?
This morning, finding out that one of my detractors, who I've been talking about a lot on this very show, Doody, has had a breakdown, has literally had a live cope session with his audience revealing all this personal information about himself, essentially to kind of cut off attempts that people were trying to find out this information for themselves. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now that all this information is public, all this stuff that I've been saying for the past couple of days actually kind of makes sense. Then I'm not kidding you. Live on stream, Keemstar joined Doody and for about 30 minutes put his balls on the coals and basically said, literally your content is in violation not only of the law, because you're putting completely unedited, giant, long clips of people's content on your channel without any commentary or criticism, but also it violates YouTube's terms of service. So, you know, everything that I've been saying on this channel, on this podcast, for the last couple of days, and showed evidence of, Keemstar agrees with. What is 2024?
Now also keep in mind as well, there are multiple videos where Phil says, clip this, use my content however you want, I don't care, I only make videos for my own audience, I don't care what you do with my content. But then goes on to say, I don't want you to use my content, I don't want you to clip stuff. And we have this from Theo. This podcast DSP is doing is unhinged and fucking unreal. DSP is saying he's scared Doody might do something because he might be autistic. But remember, DSP bragged how he got death threats in the past. This dude is insane. Then we have In Another Place. Explain this to me. Phil is trying to get Doody Streams help because his obsession is dangerous. However, DERICH is not his problem because he doesn't discuss it on DSP's stream. Make it make sense, please. Oh, we'll get to the DERICH stuff. Oh, yes, we will. Then even Jade just wants to sit there and chill. He doesn't like all this drama stuff. Which another person, DSP, is alienated with all this drama content. Because for years he kept saying, I don't want to be Mr. Drama. I don't want to get pulled into it. And he fostered this whole environment where people want to go there and chill and play games even though he's toxic. And now all of a sudden, he's doing a 180 and leaning into the drama, which is alienating a lot of his core audience. And Jade says, okay, I out. Now I'll say this as my final thing on this whole thing. Everyone in this is wrong. Yeah, Keemstar threatened to get YouTube involved and demonetize Doody's channel. He's wrong about the length of the clips. And obviously he's using this to promote and give attention to his DSP interview on Wednesday. DSP, obviously, he's wrong for what he said about autistic people and medical authorities and all that. And Doody, like, I'm cool with you, Doody, but you can't be acting like a child like this. Talking in circles, yelling and screaming, making everyone a mod in your chat so everyone gets banned if they speak out against you. Like, that's not a good look. Especially when you're one of the more well-known people in the community. You're kind of a face of the community. So when people think of the DSP community, there's certain people think of, you know, Snore Hogan, Doody Streams, Snore Burnell, Atlas, Broside Phil. These are all people that represent the community as a whole. Obviously, there's no leaders or anything like that. But people that are more well-known are going to reflect on the community. And as a community, we have to do better. We can't lower ourselves to be like Phil. And speaking of being like Phil, we now talk about DERICH. So remember in the last video, I said people were giving information to Null about DERICH? Well, guess what, guys? It comes up in this interview. They confront DSP about that playlist. Yes, that playlist. How he harasses women online. They even straight out call him a pedophile. And Kino Casino says they will not support Phil if he keeps DERICH around. And even if Derek is not banned in Kino's chat, he will be on site if they ever see him. They then go on to tell Phil, you need to ban this guy. He's not good for your audience. And DSP has heard this over the years. But it's because of the detractors. And he goes on to defend Derek, saying, oh, what he does on his own time is none of my business. Now keep in mind, he acknowledges what Derek is, but at the same time, Phil, you don't know how young your audience really is. So when you have a person that's a PDFI like Derek around younger people and you're saying it's okay, it's not a problem, you're opening up a world where Derek can talk to these young people and you're allowing it. But the sticking point for DSP not banning Derek after all this time, guess what it is, guys? It's not because he does stuff off stream. It's not because people complain and stalk him, in his words, over his social media. The reason he won't ban Derek is because it will give the detractors a win. And even Kino will push back, saying, sometimes you gotta take the L for the greater cause of getting rid of a pedophile. But I can't do it justice. Let's hear it from Kino, Josh, and DSP.
I'd like to hear your perspective. Do you know a guy named DERICH or Derek?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a supporter, moderator, and like thumbnail maker for your stream, right?
Wrong on all three counts. He's not a supporter, he's not a moderator, and he's never made a thumbnail for me whatsoever. All wrong, all detractor bullshit. He's just a viewer.
Okay.
And he made a tier maker for me once or twice.
Okay, tier maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Josh, do you have like receipts on that, or is this what you've heard, or is this what's in his thread, or what?
Well, his response is there's definitely a relationship, or when I say relationship, I mean there's definitely like a connection. But his response is actually it falls through a crack. I don't know how to respond to that because the guy is definitely like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and he definitely has like playlists of like little girls and stuff on his YouTube. Like that's archived independently of the forum. But
what do you think?
I think I remember seeing like his badge in chat though, that he had a supporter, like a mod sword or something.
No, that you're seeing someone gifted him a membership. That's what you're seeing. It's just a gifted membership. Anyone can get that on YouTube. That's just, he has no power whatsoever on my streams whatsoever.
But he's allowed in your streams though.
Yes, he is.
But he has playlists of little kids on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we publicly address this formally? This is good.
Let's
We can finally do this.
Let's talk about this.
Real.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Why is
All
he
right.
allowed to be a member of your community when he's such a creep?
That's the one thing that's really fucked. Yeah.
Here's my philosophy. You guys can completely disagree as streamers yourselves, and everyone out there watching, you may also disagree as well. All right, but allow me to lay down my methodology here.
Sure.
Okay. I'm a content creator. Every day I put on a stream. I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm trying to make a living. I got a chat. People come in, people come out. I see people from all walks of life, people from here, there, and everywhere who attend my streams. And I don't judge anyone for anything but what's going on in my stream. Okay? If I see someone in this stream doing something disgusting, having awful things said, or they're breaking the rules, they're out of it. I have rules laid out. Actually, my stream, I think, is a little bit more lax than others because I used to be known as like the moderator heavy guy, and now I almost don't have any moderators anymore. I kind of handle it all myself. But anyway, my philosophy is what goes on in my stream is the extent of my responsibility as a streamer to take care of. Now, anyone out there who makes content, do you personally know every single person who's on your stream? Do you know what their life is like behind the scenes? Do you know what kind of stuff that they're into? What, their kinks, their bullshit, what they post on their social media? Of course not. How on holy hell would any of us ever know what all of our viewers are doing? Nor is it in our realm of responsibility to have to actually look into that. You understand? These people are just here to watch me. That's all I care about.
May I just... okay, so... I understand what you're saying. You don't know everyone's backstory. You can't control everyone. Makes sense. But we have verifiable evidence that Derek is a pedophile. He has playlists of kids, and it's really weird fucking shit. And this is the one thing Ashton and I are like, what the fuck is...
What the fuck
I
is
get
this
what you're
shit?
saying.
And
I get
Josh
what you're saying.
looked into it yesterday. Let's let Josh. Josh, what do you think about what Phil just said?
Yeah.
It's not just this. Knowing about it, like when you find out, like you have to you have to do something about that. And from what I understand, the big point of contention is not just that he's there; it's that other people, who are in your community, who are in your chats, have pointed out that this guy is who he is, and he seems to be getting a layer of protection that people are able to observe. He seems to get away, according to the people that watch, he gets away with a lot more than other people would. Just in it's suspicious to them. I don't know. I've not seen this, but that's what that's what they
So
say.
you don't even know what they're saying. You just think that somehow he's getting some kind of protections in my stream, is what you're saying.
Yeah, either from people in the chat calling it out, or just in regards to his behavior. Like, apparently he spams a lot and he gets a pass with that, and people suspect that there is some kind of association there where he gets a pass. Like, for instance, with the thumbnails, because they say that he has like a monthly vacation, and during that vacation the style of your thumbnails changes, and that is how they come to the conclusion that the thumbnails are being made by him, because they don't get made by him when he's gone.
He's literally never made anything like that for me whatsoever. He's, like I said, the only thing he's ever made is 2 tier makers, I believe, over the last year.
So he
That's
has
it.
made stuff, though.
He 2 tier makers, and one that I used on a stream and one I did not.
But
Yeah.
brother Phil, like, you can't have a pedophile making stuff for you and part of your community in a broad sense, right? Like, you should probably just ban the fucking guy and send him packing, and I think you'd get a lot less shit if you did.
Here's the thing. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You guys are correct. If I were right now to say enough is enough, too many people have issue with this guy, ban him.
Sure.
Okay? That would solve that problem. However, the big picture that no one's
Let's
looking
solve that problem then.
at. Okay, but listen.
Yeah, good.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do
Phil,
that.
that's a very obvious, like, slippery slope fallacy. It's like you can get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a
playlist
fallacy,
on YouTube without
yeah.
opening Pandora's box. That's
No.
not really correct. Yeah.
Oh, Josh, you got to listen. All right? Because, again, you know how bad my detractors are, correct? You know how
sure.
crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything about this person is because my detractors went to all of his personal socials and dug into them deep.
But he's a
went to his-
pedophile.
But they got him.
They
It's
dug
right,
they
into
got
him
him,
deep.
though.
Okay, now
he-
hold on.
he's a
I know.
pedophile,
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing what you guys are saying, but please let me finish what I'm saying.
For sure,
because it is-
for sure.
All right. If the only reason that I know that this guy did something bad is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it, I'm sorry, but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen. If I ban Derek right now, I call him Derek because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Derish or whatever. But if I ban Derek right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derek right now, the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched a guy who no one would have known he had anything wrong with him by just watching Phil's streams. For the record, Derek has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not do that on my streams. If I ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
Phil finally
personal
banned him.
If I may,
We're
I
on to the next.
I have a very personal, like, because there's a very comparable story to this. The forum is having a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one of the users is a convicted child pornographer from the District of Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it. And it's true. It's embarrassing. But I still banned him because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is a fair comparison. However, what you didn't let me finish the statement here. The moment I ban Derek and these detractors say we won, guess what happens? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving, and then they move on to someone else. And then they move on to someone else.
Phil,
and then they move on to someone else until it's done.
But sometimes in life you have to hold the L, and sometimes bad people are going to get a win. But that's just the reality. You can't have a pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile. And you're basically admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh, no.
and
Let me tell you
saying
this.
It's okay. Okay.
I
so
will say this. I don't know anything about that because I make it a philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers. I think that's fucking creepy. That I would spend my time every time that someone says something about someone, I got to go search their socials. I got to go to their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and
right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derek was caught and you found out that the police found something on him and he's in the middle of a trial right now and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well, how would I find out about that? Like, how would I even know that?
A fan of yours goes, I live in the same city as him and I saw him on the news, for example.
What if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad does somebody have to be before you're like, well, I don't want to associate with this guy?
So if Hitler was on my stream and was still alive, would I ban Hitler, right?
If Adolf Hitler 1488 was an active user on your stream, would you ban him? Because he's only Der Führer in Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you, I've gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part. What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything I've done or ever. I got to take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine who talks a lot in chat or whatever. And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like, that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks a lot.
So if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely,
so you disavow Derek then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do outside of the realm of my stream.
We're bringing it to you.
Me and Josh have both looked at it as of yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting, and now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
If you,
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are going.
You are totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But wouldn't you still not want this guy to be in your community or your audience and openly known as this guy? Because if I'll swing it the other way, it's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you don't ban him, if you ban him, then the detractors will look into your other viewers, and you're completely accurate about that. But if you don't ban him, if you do nothing, then they will just continue to bring this up with an accurate line from the point A to point B, and it will always be there, and it will always haunt you, and people will always ask, well, why the fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about it? It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think that one option is better than the other.
So to answer that, at least in my experience, and I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my 42 years on this planet that I would much rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. And what I mean by that is, I know who Derek is. I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never looked into it.
How can you say you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as part of
This is flat out delusional, though. Like, if you look at his Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Okay, I believe you. You're telling me this now as a neutral third party, correct? You're neutral.
Yeah, and we think it's very foul. Like Phil, this is not like, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever. And
it's free playlists. This is like hundreds of videos of just little girls doing innocuous things. It's genuinely fucking creepy.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm gonna ban him.
Let's go. Yeah, honestly, you should ban him.
Hold on. The devil. That was the devil I knew. You understand?
Yeah.
So I can deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. He talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and it's annoying to certain people. And I got to hear people talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I got to deal with the devil I don't know. What's the next person who's now going to get harassed by my detractors? And I don't want this to be like Phil's viewer hunt.
I understand that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still going after your other viewers, dude. They still
this happened before.
Like,
there were whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed, and I think that was one of the other things where I was kind of irritated with people on the DSP board because they were doxing. Like, I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that gave you a lot of money.
Now, what I want to point out as well is the chat you see on the right that was calling out Phil the whole time. That's Kino Casino's chat. And you can see as he was defending Derek, people were calling him out left and right. But the question is, will he actually do it? Will he actually ban Derek? Then we have this from Pixar. Phil said he knew nothing about Derek's activities until tonight. Phil is a lying sack of shit. And then we see Top Tier Rated, who's Brian. Remember he did the Street Fighter streams with Phil? And when he went on Agent Proper, he talked about Derek and then went behind the scenes to confront Phil about Derek. And Phil said, oh, that's nothing. It's in the past, blah, blah, blah. And he refused to get rid of Derek. So Top Tier Rated put this out. About fucking time this dude is being banned. I told him that shit months ago. But I'm not Kino Casino. Then Meow Block. The amount of people calling him out in his chat was great. If this was anyone else, they would have been done. And we see this from Gaming Guru in the chat. At DSP Gaming, Dax made a good point. You didn't know about it because anytime someone would mention him/it, you would ban them. And then Pixar puts this out. It's Phil wearing a pedo protector shirt and Derek chasing a very young girl. And then Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. The trip to eat delicious dim sum for Derek's birthday next year may be cancelled. Of course, that's a still from the fan-made Derek Happy Birthday video. Then we have that being said. Yesterday to PPP. I think I've used a tier maker or two from him, nothing else. Easily verifiable reality. He's used Derek content on stream for over 7 years, and then we see some thumbnails. And look at that, made by Derek Loves Lemur. Then it was time, guys. He told Kino Casino he's gonna ban him on all channels. So he goes to his stream, Decompression Time. He's on DSP Gaming. And people kept saying, ban him, ban him, ban him, let's do this. And he kept saying, well, he has to be in chat first in order for me to ban him. And he's looking sad, he's looking nervous, almost like he's worried about some sort of dirt Derek has on him. And even at this point, even though he said he's gonna ban him, he's dragging his feet and doesn't understand why he has to ban Derek.
Excuse me. Andy did a super chat. Without a doubt, the biggest W is banning you-know-who. Sometimes to evolve means to leave the old shell behind. Andy and Ash want you to succeed. Again, I honestly don't see why this was such a big thing put on me, because it you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stop someone from acting one way. You know what I'm saying? So banning someone from chat doesn't solve the problem, correct? And the person, they do not have an association with me. They're just a stream viewer. So to me, it's like, I don't get why this is an association and why people are upset anyway, but I'll do it. Whatever. Whatever.
And that's really sad, where he says basically, oh, I don't care if he's a PDF, as long as he's a PDF off stream and not on stream. Is this the hill you want to die on, Phil? And by the way, Derek did show up. He did ban Derek, didn't say anything, banned him, and then refused to even say his name at all. Just like in Harry Potter, the one that shall not be named. And Sunday is going to be interesting, because he's banned off of DSP Gaming. So Sunday, React Day, DSP Reacts, and DSP Throwback. Should be interesting. Then we have a beautiful AI chat summary. Viewers are discussing Derek and Phil. Some believe Derek may be Phil's son, or that they have some sort of intimate relationship. Others believe that Phil may be using Derek to launder money or commit other illegal activities. That's the most on-point chat summary I've ever seen. Then I'm really hoping this is a LARPer and not the real Derek. Where Derek in chat, hopefully this is a fake, says, I'm gonna take your suggestion and create another account, let you know my name. And then spams it again. Phil, I'm gonna take your suggestion and create another account, let you know my name, thanks. Did you see my message, Phil? At DSP Gaming, I created my new account. We'll send you the name. Will my membership transfer over? Of course, this is the Canadian Kirk treatment. However, unlike Canadian Kirk, Derek can't hide who he is and is spamming. So if he does make another account, you will know right away which one is Derek. And then DSP puts this out with a thumbs up. To everyone out there listening, thank you all if you stuck in there with me through thick and thin all along. Or, if you are a newcomer giving me a chance. This has been a 10-year dark tunnel I've been stuck in, and today, it actually feels like I just drove out the other end. And then In Another Place quotes that and says, is he talking about Bane and Derek or the redemption arc? And then would you look at that? Number 20, trending, Derek. And Derek wasn't the only family member that was mentioned. We also have Jenna, Kat's sister, with Shinko saying this was the best part of the interview.
And now it's been an
I'm not
ongoing
being rude,
thing.
but is this the woman that a user from the Kiwi Farms had sex with?
Yes, that's
I
the
have no
Kool-Aid
idea.
Kool-Aid
I don't
girl.
know.
There's a thread, and I want to say it's someone related to Kat that somebody hunted down and had sex with. Yeah, and there's pictures of it on the forum.
So,
I think I
do you
banned that
see what
guy.
I mean? This is the kind of shit that shows up on my forum. It's like, what does this have to do with anything with us? We have no association with this person. We don't talk with this person. To our knowledge, this person
Kool-Aid.
might have some issues, and so we don't want to be associated with this person. So why is any of this existing on Kiwi Farms? Is that not like the level that you would think, wow, that's kind of extreme. This shouldn't be in the Dark Side Phil forum. What does that even have to do with Dark Side Phil?
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I did ban him, but I can't like unfuck her sister. You know, it's already happened. It's already done and posted on the internet. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So, but why is it in my forum?
Well,
It has nothing to do with
They
me.
banned him.
It has nothing to do with me.
I mean,
Yes,
it
it
does.
does.
That's why the event happened because she was related to your wife.
Yes.
But that's not me.
Starting to make sense,
It's
Phil?
the Dark Side Phil thread.
Then we have this from Poem Josh, who clarifies something. DSP is saying detractors went out of their way to contact Jenna. Philip, that woman was tweeting me before I even knew who she was. She interjected herself into this. And of course, everything always comes back to WWE Champions. David Davidson. We are back to Phil cannot stream/show on screen WWE Champions because he would show his actual screen name. And that is not down from the rafters because detractors would then hack into his phone account and install backdoors, etc. We are just lying here, even using the J/RTU stuff. Then I found this very hilarious because remember guys, this guy has a business degree. He's always saying how smart he is and how big brain he is. Well, this is him talking about moving cross country and his plan to put everything on credit cards, and not only that, to balance the payments between credit cards. Gee Phil, I wonder why you went bankrupt.
Fuck yeah.
But here's the thing. I've made a lot of bad financial decisions along the way.
Yeah.
Right? Many. You know, I stupid things. Racked up credit cards when I moved out here. I furnished the house way too expensive. I did dumb things. My plan was to move across the country, charge everything to a credit card, and continuously balance the credit cards by doing balance transfers for 2-3 years at 0% interest until I paid them all off. What a genius move that was, brother. Yeah.
Now keep in mind, this also ruins the narrative that Phil likes to tell, that it was the detractors' fault. He went into bankruptcy because they messed with his business. And then the whole thing about Null deleting DSP forums or even the whole Kiwi Farms came up. We have In Another Place. It's quite clear Phil expected/wanted Null to either delete the whole DSP forum or at least remove parts of it, and didn't get the result he'd hoped for. Null's response and questions were ambiguous and to the point, unlike Phil's answers. Then Phil went on to say, Null is now Frankenstein, and eventually he has to kill his monster, Kiwi Farms, before it kills him. So remember back in the day, Phil kept saying, I've never gone to Kiwi Farms, I don't know what it is, I don't want to hear about it, I'll never go there. While he now says, the farms look a lot cleaner than it did in the past. And as Raw Bennett points out, wait, how does Phil know about what it was like in the past? He never goes to Kiwi. And then Phil admits, to an extent, he is a LOLCOW, but he was more of a cow back in the day. but he still won today to an extent.
I would definitely argue that earlier on in my career, absolutely I was a LOLCOW. Like, this is how you don't play? Are you shitting me? That 1,000,000% triggered the fuck out of me back then. Because I thought that I was big shit. I thought that I was a big-ass gaming YouTuber, and I was above reproach. You know what I'm saying? I thought that everything was, you know, amazing. How dare you criticize me? My content is popular. I'm the one who makes a living on YouTube, not you. So how dare you, right? Like, I'm serious. That's what my mentality was. I was cocky, and I was full of myself back then. You know, we're talking 12, 13 years ago when This Is How You Don't Play started. And rightfully so. People wanted to act a certain way towards me, and it would spur a reaction that they wanted to get. They would elicit this reaction out of me. So I was a LOLCOW back then. But if you haven't noticed, over the last 10 years, right?
You've definitely changed. You're definitely not that person at all, right, Phil? And then DSP went on to say, if you spend a certain amount of money in mobile games, the operators will break the rules for you. And an exact quote from DSP. I know you can't change your name because I already contacted support and tried and they couldn't. Now, why would you need to contact support and change your name if no one knew what your name was? This runs parallel to the gun show, to They Call Me DSP, who then went to support and changed their name. Funny how that happens. And Narcside Phil, if you weren't They Called Me DSP, and your username was completely unknown to all detractors like Joe Greasy123, why were you contacting support to change your name? Then Poems Josh, Phil casually admitted he lied about never playing mobile games, and then laughing afterwards today is all you need to know about him when it comes to transparency and honesty with him. And then he was worried because someone told him Keem was gonna stream his appearance on the Level 1 pre-stream over on his own podcast. And DSP was mad about that. This is not part of the deal. If this is true, I'm canceling the interview. Of course, it was all BS, someone just trolling him. And then in a hilarious moment after Derek was banned, people kept asking, oh, did you ban 672? Pretty sure they were trolling him on this as well. But that was the day. My god, what a day that was. If you think about it, 2023 side-scrollers admits to WWE champions. 2024 Kino Casino, he admits Derek is a PDF file publicly and bans him. What will happen in 2025? You never know. If you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe. Subscribe to my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.